Assalamualaikum to both panel, Dr. Hasnahwi and Dr. Mazlina. Today, me, Iqmal, Rashidi bin Sobri, with my partners Nuralisya binti Radzi and Siti Aina Azrina binti Muhammad Dalail, would like to present our undergraduate project, which is Dark Tourism Development Impact to Attitude of Local Residents in Ranau Sabah. First, we take a look on the background of study. Dark tourism in Malaysia is very synonym and able to attract visitors. This statement is supported by London in 2017, which emphasized the term dark tourism as the location of crime, genocide, assassination, incarceration, and the Holocaust that has served to attract visitors. Meanwhile, according to Jamin and others in 2020, stated that Malaysia has diversity in dark tourism sites and destinations such as cemeteries, museums, and war relics that becoming more popular regarding to its dark past event. Moreover, Malaysia has dark tourism attractions specifically in Sandakan Ranau Sabah, which encountered massacre of prisoners of war from British and Australian during their march to Ranau in 1994. To relate the existence of dark tourism in this area, Masanti in 2016 stressed on the acceptance factor among the local community has influenced the decision of the perspective in the exploring and branding a potential site as dark tourism attraction. And there is requirement and measure the response of inhabitants as a tourism growth commerce based on the research made by the George in 2017.
Problem statement. Dark tourism is one of the important elements in tourism industry. According to Jamin 2020, Malaysia has lot of dark tourism sites and certain dark tourism place has left directly or indirectly impact toward residents. The development of dark tourism will give impact to economy, socio-cultural and environment. In terms of impact in dark tourism, Wang and Low 2017 said economy help provide employment opportunities and increase the income of local residents. Not only that, Glass on 2017 said the impact of socio-cultural also have changes in the quality of daily life and residents in tourist destination and has give impact to changes in traditional values, norms and identities. This can be supported by the socio-cultural impact of tourism has an influence on socio-cultural characteristic, influencing the social habit, custom, values, belief and lifestyle of the residents in the tourist destination itself, Wusnam 2018 said. In addition, the impact of dark tourism in terms of environment involve improved local living, public facilities and surrounding. This support by Kim et al. 2013. This can support by local residents are willing to be involved in the process of making tourism development strategies, Wong and Luo said. However, when it gave effect toward local community, what is the acceptance of local people in Ranau Sabah on the economy, socio-cultural and environment? Looking into perspective, Ranau Sabah has been recognized as dark tourism site. Thus, how the attitude of local residents on the impacts of dark tourism development? Coates and Ferguson 2013 said, as some residents are still sensitive about the tragedy, people who are still in loss of their relative in the disaster may get upset emotionally, and there is a limited study on the relationship between the impact of economy, social culture and environment of dark tourism development towards attitude of local people. From this, the researcher want to see how the attitude of local people on the impact of dark tourism development and to investigate the correlation between the tourism impact and the attitude of local people on dark tourism development in Ranau Sabah.
For this study, we have 3 research objectives supported by 3 research questions, which are: first, to examine the overall perception of the Ranau local resident on the impact of dark tourism development in economy, social culture and environment. Second, to assess local resident perception and attitude of dark tourism. And third, to examine the relationship between the impact of dark tourism development in economy, social culture and environment and local resident attitude. This is a study framework. For the independent variable, it shows that the impact of that tourism development of economy, social culture and environment towards attitude of local residents in Ranau Sabah. We also have three hypotheses which are: first, there is significant relationship between economy has impact of that tourism and the local attitude of people. Second, there is significant relationship between social culture has impact of that tourism and the attitude of local people. And third, there is significant relationship between environment has impact of that tourism and the attitude of local people. For the significance of the study, the academic aspects still have limited study on the impact of that tourism development in economy, social culture and environment toward attitudes of local people in Ranau Sabah after the destination has been hit by the death march. This research will also create a new body of knowledge in Malaysia dark tourism research. For the practical aspect, it helped the authority knowledge of tourism impact that affected local people attitude towards that tourism development. It also helped the tourism board who are in charge in the sector to helping enhance the quality of life of people. It also give awareness to the people around because this place has potential in the tourism sector. Basically, in that tourism development, it can bring more benefit to the local people at there. However, it also can give another impact towards the characteristic of tourism development of the places. Generally, the impact of that tourism can be perceived as the positive and negative impact to the local community. Also, it can discuss that the impact of that tourism development can recover the local economy, social culture and environment of that places. In economy, the impact can generate the income of the places and will provide job opportunity to the local community in that area. For social culture, by emphasizing changing in the quality daily life of local residents, it can also give a negative impact on social culture due to the existence of changes in values, norms and traditional identities arising from the tourism. However, Gleason 2017 stated that the impact of development also can give positive impact such as protect or maintain the culture value, traditional culture and norm that has been exist in that place to avoid any changes local culture. In environment, the impact will have positive preservation and conservation of the natural environment to ensure the cleanliness of area. Generally, attitude can refer to settled opinion, behavior-based, either the conscious or unconscious mental view through cumulative experience, value, belief or feeling. It is essential to assess local residents' supportive attitude to ensure the sustainability of the destination attraction.
To run research relation between IV and DV above, we require research methodology. Inform research approach that this study is a descriptive study using quantitative approach. For time horizon, this is cross-sectional study which researcher collect data at one time and the researcher using the self-completed questionnaire that was distributed to the respondent. For sample and population, in this study using non-probability sampling that where convenience sampling is used as the sampling technique. And for the unit of analysis, individual of people, which is local people of Ranau. To determine the sample size, we are using Tabachnik and Feudal formula and supported with the response rate minimally 75 people, the referring to the 85% data response rate. For the instrumentation, the researcher divided it into the three main sections where consists 34 items from all sections. We use multi-language questionnaire with assistance from expert translator to check whether the questionnaire tally with the translation used. Despite of that, the conduction of the pilot study is using 30 respondents from all groups to run reliability tests which to get feedback whether the respondents able to understand and interpret the question correctly. For data analysis method, for the data collection method, the way we reach Ranau local people at destination is via Google Form question. We also get assistance from third party to obtain legitimate respondent with all conditions. The data collection run in 3 weeks time frame and there is no time bound set for the respondent to answer. Overall, we managed to get the 99 number of respondents. For data analysis, we are using SPSS, which is statistical package for the social science. We use Chromebook Alpha to know the reliability of the questionnaire. And for answering objective 1 and 2, we are using descriptive analysis, and for the objective 3 and also hypothesis of the study, we're using inferential statistics, which are multiple linear regression.
Demographic profile. Majority of the local people respondents are female as opposed to male. Highest percentage of their age is range 20 to 30 years old, followed by middle age 40 to 59 years old and 60 and above. Majority of them pose an undergraduate qualification with the occupation of professional, administrative, semi-skills and business. The length of residence, majority has lived there for 16 to 15 years, 16 and 30 years, followed by over 30 years has lived in Ranau Sabah. Moving on to reliability test. Based on the table, this Cronbach alpha result, it consists of 4 variables which are economy, socio-cultural environment and attitude of local people. Overall, it means that all the independent variable and dependent variable are acceptable as all those variables fall under Cronbach alpha range 0.7 less than equal alpha less than equal 0.9, which according to Head et al. Term, it is reliable. In answering Objective 1 and Research Question 1, the researcher ran descriptive analysis looking at mean score to know the overall perception. In economy, the magnitude of the mean score range from 3.60 to 3.89 indicate that all the respondents agree. From economy perspective, local people are having a good perception since it has provided more employment opportunity and has helped increase residents' income. Next, socio-cultural, magnitude of the mean score range from 3.65 to 3.80 indicate that all the respondents agree. Include that the perception of local people on the impact of dark tourism are helping in increase the cultural diversity and developing a cultural identity of the place. And then we have environment. Magnitude of the mean score 3.52 to 3.71 indicate that all the respondents agree. This shows that local people are embracing the benefit of environment at their place as the development of dark tourism helps to protect the heritage. Move to Objective 2. In answering Objective 2 and Research Question 2, to assess local resident attitude on dark tourism, the attitude of local people has magnitude of mean score ranging from 3.54 to 3.68, indicate that all the respondents agree. It shows that their living standard has increased and there are so many development for the local people. In answering Objective 3, Research Question 3 and Hypothesis of the study, the researcher ran multiple linear regression. In general, looking at R2, overall this model contribute to 82% to the attitude of local people, another 20% are obtained by other factors. Looking at the significance, economy has found not significant with more than p-value 0.05. Due to that, hypotheses are being rejected. However, socio-cultural and environment, they are significant to the attitude of local people. With that, below than p-value 0.05, hypothesis 2 and 3 are accepted. Looking at the beta value, environment are slightly higher compared to cultural, indicate that environment has strong predictor.
For discussion, answering the RQ1 in economy, the respondents are agreed that development provide more job opportunities. Supported by article from NET 2015, dark development can offer job opportunity and the industry will grow rapidly and bring successful to the national economy. In socioculture, respondents also agree the development of dark tourism can help to increase the cultural diversity, rebuild the local culture, and develop the cultural identity of the places. Supported by other study, the impact of dark tourism development improve the lifestyle and the value of living with the objective of boosting cultural value. Besides that, in the environment, respondents also agree when the development of dark tourism can protect the environmental places in the Ranau Sabah. As supported by study, it helped to recover, protect the local ecological and help the local communities experience and a high standard of living as the development of the dark tourism. For the RQ2, based on the result mean score, the locals show the high interest in response of environmental impact because it's preserved well and have a good environment, facilities and infrastructure in Ranau Sabah. To support this, local resident has always been emphasized in tourism planning for the ongoing development of any tourism has the resident satisfaction depends on more social sustaining development. Proceed to RQ3 in economy, hypothesis 1 is rejected. This finding is contra from the past research conducted by Wang 2017. Wang stated that dark tourism development gives job opportunity that related to tourism. However, this research found that the impact of dark tourism development in terms of economy is not significant towards attitude of local people. This because, based on the demographic profile, majority of respondents who work in professional, administrative, on businesses and semi-skilled area, thus this economic impact is not significant to them. As supported by Hanafia et al. 2013, resident attitude will be natural when they are not experiencing direct economic benefit from the tourism sector. Meanwhile, the hypothesis 2, there is significant relationship between social culture has impact of dark tourism and the attitude of local people. The researcher found the attitude of local residents give an impact when they maintain the value of the culture in dark tourism development. Supported by other studies, it helped to maintain local culture by creating awareness to protect their traditional culture until they can appreciate on the heritage and history of the places. Other than that, the hypothesis 3, it shows that there is significant relationship between environment has impact of dark tourism and the attitude of local people. The researcher can see that the local community can accept the environmental to help recover and protect the local ecological in dark tourism development in Ranau Sabah. Study from Shuko et al. 2017 stated that positive implications of the development of dark tourism are clearly found in the positive preservation and conservation of the natural environment in tourist attraction. Also can ensure the cleanliness of area where the local live.
The implication of this study highlights the local attitude on the Ranau dark tourism development impact is very crucial. Implication to the state government, stakeholder and related authorities as they are able either maintain or improve in terms of preserve, conserve and develop in more sustainable way. For economic impact, which are being highlighted and criticized as lack of benefit perceived by the local people, this indicates that the local people require more exposure on what the benefit that they will gain from it. In another perspective, social culture needs future structuring and strengthening programs and also education. The most remarkable findings, which is environment perspective, is also seen as the influential impact in attitude of local Ranau toward dark tourism development. Environment aspects should have preserved from pollution and there should be have planned strategic buildings and all the natural resources must not overutilized during the dark tourism development.
Limitation and future research. Researchers unable to conduct face-to-face session with the respondent as this pandemic outbreak. Other than that, time constraint to collect data. As this study focused on Sabah as contextual settings, study only applied to this state alone. Researcher can look at the broader scope of this study. Future research should study other than economy, socio-cultural and environment. In conclusion, the finding of the economy, socio-culture and environment turn out to be positive determinants that influence the attitude of local people. Socio-cultural and environment are the most influential and largest contributor towards attitude of local people toward dark tourism in Ranau Sabah than economy. Collaboration and cooperation between all authorities should be further strengthened to achieve total experience toward development of dark tourism.